Thank you for tuning in. Sikuvuselana losanza kuzivulela. We did mention ukuthi sizabe sikhulumisana na EU Ambassador Desislava Shumelova. She assumed her role as EU Ambassador to Eswatini in September 2021, and her aspiration for 3 years in office was to be able to foster the multi-dimensional links between the EU and Eswatini, including cooperation, trade, as well as investment. She did say she aspired to see European cooperation improve the daily lives of even more Emaswati and create further opportunities, especially for the young women, as these are challenging times globally and locally, and partnerships matter more than ever. She joins me now as her term in office comes to an end this month. A very good morning, Ambassador. Thank you for coming through to the show. Sad news, you're leaving us. It's been quite an honor to have you in the country, since your arrival in 2021. What would you say your impression of the country, Eswatini, and its people has been?
Kusile, good morning. I chose to come to Eswatini because previously I was posted in South Africa. And I keep saying that coming as a tourist to the country first, I was always impressed by the warmth and friendliness of people. It's also a very beautiful country, and my impressions that people are friendly and warm has not changed. I have been privileged to meet many Maswati during these 3 years, and I'm really grateful for the very constructive and open approach of government ministers, of the traditional leaders, of religious leaders, of the civil society, and ordinary Emaswati. Because as a diplomat, our job is to reach out, to listen. I have kept my door open always to everybody who wanted to come and see me and talk to me. But I'm also grateful for the very serious engagement that we have had at all levels of society.
Yeah. So in your 3 years in Eswatini, have you been able to explore our cultural heritage? I suppose you've been to Mhlanga, Ingwala. How has that experience been for you?
Yes, of course. The country is very proud of the cultural festivals, the big 3 festivals. I have been privileged to witness and enjoy them. But, culture is also a fluid, developing, ever-changing thing. And that's the beauty of culture. It helps us be rooted in our past, our shared lived experiences, but it also adds on, develops, becomes a richer shared experience. And I've been very lucky there, starting from our strong partnership with House of Fire for the EU Bushfire Schools Festival. Every year we have the privilege and absolute joy to bring hundreds of students from all over the country to witness culture, to witness how music, how performing arts, how poetry and other artistic expressions are not only a means to enjoy, they're also a way to learn, and they are also a way to look into a professional career, because the creative industries are one of the big industries in the world. Bushfire puts Eswatini on the world cultural map in a very decisive and determined way. It gives back to the community, it gives back to youth. And this year in particular, I was very happy because we not only brought children from the 4 regions, we also brought children from the schools with disabilities and from the refugee reception center in Malinza. So the idea is to be inclusive and to stimulate this curiosity in children to discover what is out there for them in terms of artistic expression, but also careers and jobs. And I cannot forget to mention the budding culture industries sector of this country. I know that young musicians, performing artists find it difficult. It is still being professionalized, this sector, with the notable example of Bushfire, Luju, because we see how it's not only the jobs of artists, it's all the other job in the hospitality sector, in the tourism sector, catering, that are around every festival. But I've had the privilege to support young musicians, DJs, sound operators. We donated a state-of-the-art sound studio, which is now in Manzini. And we have helped train 15 young professionals in this area. And with House of Fire, we have another partnership, collaboration, forging artistic collaborations between artists in Eswatini with neighboring countries, Mozambique, South Africa. And in fact, last month we launched together a song, Mother, a song against gender-based violence. Yeah. So art also has a very important social role to play. It exposes social evils and speaks to the hearts and mind of people of what is not right in society.
Okay, I see you've had quite the experience during your 3 years ambassador. Let's talk more about your organization. You know, most people usually confuse it with the United Nations. Let's talk more about the European Union and the relations between Eswatini. The relationship has lasted more than 50 years, started more than 50 years ago. Tell us more about the EU and Eswatini.
I would say that it is a privilege to be confused with the United Nations, because the United Nations brings all world nations in a joint dream and aspiration to live in peace, solidarity and prosperity. And the United Nations is an actor for good in this world. So is the European Union. The difference is that the European Union is a political, economic and lately defense and security union of 27 countries in Europe. We are very different nations. We have 24 languages, 3 different alphabets, and we boost very rich cultural and, if you want, culinary traditions. But what unites us are our values. Yeah. Our values around freedom, democracy, respect for human rights, the rule of law, but also solidarity, brotherhood of men, inclusion. And it is exactly the value of solidarity which informs and motivates our development cooperation with many countries around the world, including, as you said, Eswatini for over 50 years. We are spending in the country a lot of European Union taxpayers' money. The Minister of Economic Planning was so kind in our last partnership dialogue to let us know that we have invested over 14 billion Malangeni in the country over the last 20 years. Okay. I think for a country of 1 million people, that's a lot of investment, a very tangible expression of solidarity and friendship. And our task is to bring this assistance as close as possible to the people of Eswatini, to make sure that over the years we have supported the government and the aspirations of the ordinary Maswati for better education, for better infrastructure. You know, there is the Lusip Dam, there are lots of roads, irrigation systems for the agriculture sector. We have helped the sugar industry become among the most competitive ones in the world with our support. Smallholder farmers, to diversify agriculture, to make it more climate resilient. And of late, we are also looking at human capital development and social inclusion. Throughout the years, we have also supported human rights organizations and the civil society in the country exactly to respond to a call for inclusiveness and to help the country listen to everybody's voices, because only through inclusion you can build sustainable peace and stability.
Yeah, true. Ambassador, you know, corruption still remains a huge threat to the country's development. What measures has the EU put in place to ensure the organization's investments were not in vain?
Yes, corruption is a problem. We see it every day in the newspapers, and it's a serious social ill. I would say that in Eswatini, unfortunately, very sadly, we have seen corruption kill. Because of the lack of medication in hospitals, people suffer and die. So corruption is a serious, serious issue to be attacked with all force of the law enforcement. As the EU, because as I said, we have invested millions of Malangeni, we have put in place a very strong mechanism to make sure that every Eurocent we spend goes to purpose. So this starts from the project design, where we have a call for proposals. The project is very, very well written out, and every action is described and costed. Then throughout the project, we make sure that everything is rolled out as planned. We have checks. Our project officers in my office, I have a small but very competent team, make sure that they accompany each and every project and make sure that the intended action is implemented as meant to be. And then we have audits, and then we have always final verification reports. Yeah. So we have put in place serious mechanism to ensure that taxpayers' money go to purpose. Of course, it makes working with us a bit burdensome, especially for smaller organizations, non-governmental and civil society organizations. This proves to be difficult, so we invest in capacitating these organizations throughout the years. We have always supported, in the last 18 years, the Aid Management and Coordination Unit at the Ministry of Economic Planning and Development. And of late, we try to work with bigger organizations who have the overall responsibility for project and financial management. And then they work with local organizations, also supporting them in reporting and making sure that every penny goes to purpose.
All right. On a lighter note, Ambassador, just we have less than a minute. It's so sad to see you leave. But you know, what is that one experience that you'll take away from Eswatini that you'll not ever forget? An unforgettable experience.
For me, the happiest moments every year have been the ability to interact with children in Eswatini during the Bushfire Schools Festival, to see the joy, to see the freedom found in expressing themselves. This year during Bushfire, they were given a studio to record a song. They chose the topic United in Diversity, which is also the motto of the European Union. And it's very close to my heart because what makes our coexistence on this planet, faced with numerous global challenges, possible is that despite our diversities, we cherish them, but we unite around peace, prosperity, and brotherhood of nations. And I trust that the European Union has been a long-standing and very truthful partner of this country and worked for the better lives of every Maswati, children, youth, women, particular throughout the last 50 years.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Ambassador. I will certainly miss you here at Kusile Breakfast Show. Thank you for your effort, for keeping alive the relationship between EU and Eswatini. Well, there you have it. This is Slava Shumilova. Her term in office has come to an end. She's leaving the country end of August. When you return, we talk about breastfeeding week.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwale